Hello. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing super swell. I wanted to make another video today along the same lines as last week, but just different. I really didn't plan on making any other video. I don't really plans. Do I really look like a man with a plan? You know what? Don't answer that because the green hair I feel like is going to give me very much Joker vibes, which it probably does already. And I am a man with a plan. A woman with a plan. Um, anyways, back to the video. I really wanna speak about things that I am passionate about. Humans are one of those things that I'm passionate about. I am not in a dissect way, I'm not trying to dive deep into the ever expansive and evolving mind of a human, but just as an acknowledgement of how powerful and capable we are as humans. I know in my last video I talked about the how not to not how not to, but how we don't have to be controlled by our emotions or our thoughts or our impulses. That's a lot of hours. Um, and not hours on the clock, but hours as we people that we can have all of those things because we are human and we're not perfect, but we don't have to be controlled by them and we are allowed to be free within our own human self. And I know that idea exists, but I just don't want it to be misconstrued or misunderstood. It's not ridding yourself of your emotions or your negative emotions, your negative thoughts, your impulses or desires. It's not r- erasing it. It is it's not about removing what makes you human. It's about becoming aware enough to see that those things don't have to control you. And they don't have to decide who you choose to be, who you choose to show up in the world. And that is what matters. The other important part is like when it comes to things that really matter, the choices we make that could potentially harm someone or can impact lives in a big way, we still do have to take accountability. Not knowing how to manage yourself or ourselves doesn't remove responsibility from from our choices? Not really sure. For our choices, right? And I think we can start having a more honest conversation about what it looks like to really sit with ourselves, to to be with us within our own self, to witness ourselves without judgment and with compassion and understanding. Because we don't have to become the experiences that shaped us, or the thoughts we were shown, or the beliefs that we were taught, especially early on. I feel like childhood is one of those things that just, and I, even like the smallest thing can still have an effect on you. And I don't know, there was a lot of things through this journey that I've embarked on that I started to realize really did not affect me in such a massive way, but even just, like, in a silly way, like, I know my dad really hates sticky stuff on his hands, and it's like, I hate it, like, I genuinely just don't even eat syrup because I just don't want to have anything that's sticky around me. So, it's just, like, little things like that, um, I don't I don't really, I don't know. It's so funny how you would think about it now when you're older and then you look back on your life and you see all the things that start adding up. Um, but yeah, But anyways, but we can become more aware of our emotions and our beliefs and our thoughts, and that is exactly what this video is about, is awareness, self-awareness, awareness of self, and this is 100% about me and my journey, not in like a it's all about me, but it is my journey, and it's something that I want to share because sharing is caring. And not maybe not in this way. Maybe not in this way. Maybe that doesn't maybe that doesn't actually fit to this conversation, but I feel like, you know what? Share it anyways. Why? Because I want to. And I've been thinking a lot about self-awareness. Not I've been thinking about it, but it is something that I've integrated a lot into my life is not in a perfect way, but in a real way. I don't want the idea of perfection in a human way. A human way is not about being perfect. It's about being real. And it's about in a real way acknowledging and noticing how you react to things, and that's what I had to do is notice how I react to things and realize I don't have to react to things the way that I always did. And for a long time, I thought my reactions were literally just who I was. That's there was no way I could have changed every part of myself. I did not think that was possible. It is possible because I did I started to actually work on myself and really started to notice my reactions and notice, if I felt strongly about something, I used to act on it. If I felt fear, anger, or doubt, I just allowed it to take over. And I think one of the biggest realizations for me was that other than the fact that that's who I really thought I was, but also that I was somebody who was just sitting on the edge, waiting for life to just ignite, thinking that if I was nice enough, if I gave enough, if I poured enough into other people, then eventually I would be seen and heard, and the silence I felt would finally be filled with love uh, hang on, and gratitude from the people I was giving myself to. And this isn't coming from a place of pity. I'm not saying it because, it's like, oh, woe is me. But these are the things that I had to acknowledge on my own. No one else could do that for me. Like I had to sit with myself and face really hard truths that I was expecting other people to fix everything. I was expecting love to fix everything. I was expecting to be seen to fix everything and really wanting other people to take away the fears and the doubts and how life should feel. And I had to realize that that had to start with me and noticing me, sitting with myself and loving myself. And no one else could do that for me. And that's really where my self-awareness really took shape was that moment. And I didn't question it, but I just started to pay attention, not judging myself. At first I did. I know at first when I first started sitting with myself, I really did judge myself very harshly. Why are you thinking that way? Why can't you just be normal and be perfect? And, why do you have to be upset or want things done this way? And I just decided that I was going to remove judgment and just notice and just witness and allow myself to sit in a place where I allowed the thoughts to come to the surface and see them and say, "Okay, I understand that you're afraid. Okay, I understand that, you were hurt. I understand that I never gave you a chance to actually live outside of yourself. I I expected more from myself. I expected perfection. I expected her to sit there and even if the past happened, get over it. It happens. Deal with it, you know. You can't change it, so why even feel it? Why even care? And that caused obviously more problems for myself, but I just wanted to be more aware of why I was thinking the way I was or making choices the way I was and really reacting the way that I had always reacted. And I really wanted to change those things about myself and actually change them, not be aware and then choose not to change. Now I make choices, and it's not always the choices that I want to make, like, you know, becoming more disciplined in a routine. I don't want to, for instance, I write 2 prayers a day and I write 160 gratefuls. I'm not gonna lie, no one has to do that. No one has to do that, but I want to do it because it's more of like a I am grateful for my life. I'm grateful for the things that have come into my life, and I'm grateful for myself in its entirety. So I decided to make choices that really allowed me to become more aware of myself, of my beliefs, and of my choices. And that the biggest thing that awareness taught me is that I don't have to react just because I feel something. I can feel fear. I don't have to act from fear. I can feel anger and not become anger. I can feel doubt and not let it decide for me. And being human didn't go away. Like I didn't erase my human. I still feel everything, and I still have those I still have the thoughts sometimes and the emotions and the beliefs. They still, spike up and they still cause this feeling inside of myself of, I'm scared and I'm anxious and I don't know where to go and I don't know what to do, and it is very scary for me, but I just choose to not let it control. I see it, I feel it, but I choose to make a choice in a different way. And that the biggest shift for me was just slowing down, really just deciding to live slowly, to realize nothing is on fire. We are okay. I am okay. I can breathe and just choose from a place of slow living instead of reacting immediately. I now choose to pause. Even if it's just for like a moment, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna pause. We're gonna sit here and just breathe and not not go straight into reaction and realize I have a choice. I'm allowed to be human. I'm allowed to feel everything that comes with that, but not be controlled by it. Awareness didn't change who I am. It actually helped me become the person who I wanted to be, who I always wanted to be. Because I never thought I could become that person because I felt like there was so many feelings, there were so many emotions. It felt like I couldn't be the peaceful person. I couldn't live in peace. I couldn't I always had to need someone. I always needed or felt like I couldn't be just happy with just the life that I had. I felt like there was always going to be more, and awareness gave me that chance to be honest with myself. And the first person I always need to be honest with is me. To acknowledge, yes, I'm afraid. Yes, not having control is uncomfortable. I don't like it. That I don't have to live in fear and I don't have to live or I don't have to live in fear and I don't need to control everything. I don't need a lot of things. I'm aware enough to see now that I'm allowed to live freely as human, not controlled by my emotions, not defined by ideas that were placed on me by experiences that I never asked for and I never wanted. That wasn't my choice. But how it affects me now and how I choose to move forward now, that is my choice. And I'm truly grateful for that. Because being human came with the pain, and through that pain, I found a deeper love for me, for myself. I I love that no one else could give me, and through that, I genuinely found me, and I want to share that possibility with anybody who needs to hear it or who wants that. And on that note, I hope you have the greatest rest of your day, and I hope your mind is kind to you today. And that's all I have to say. Okay, bye.